Hello, and thank you for joining us on Diaspora Connect, where we champion excellence by spotlighting the resilience of Nigerian citizens, breaking barriers, and making a difference across the world. On the show, we take pride in exploring identity, origin, and diverse journeys of Nigerians in the diaspora. I am Abositi Adeniwa. Let's get the show started with Diaspora News. In Diaspora News, attention is on France, where President Bola Tinubu has assured global investors of policy stability and transparency as Nigeria pushes to attract more foreign capital. The president gave the assurance during a high-level engagement with investors in Paris, where he defended his administration's economic reforms. President Tinubu says the measures are aimed at removing long-standing distortions, stabilizing the economy, and laying the foundation for inclusive growth. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Yedele, told investors that Nigeria recorded an 11.2% GDP growth in dollar terms in 2025, boosting confidence in the country's ambition to build a $1 trillion economy by the year 2030.
Inherited an economy on the teeters, ready to go south. It was a very serious turnaround, recalibration, a subsidy that was a burden to the entire country was removed, and ever since, today we've achieved the exchange rate stability by floating the currency. You are able to have a better return on the bonds, and consistency is the name of the game, and shows some serious transparency.
We're able to give them the commitment, including Mr. President himself, about what we will not do. For example, we will not bring back subsidy because it creates distortion for the economy. And we will not introduce price control because we believe in markets, while at the same time ensuring that regulation is responsible so that there's no supplier, trader, manufacturer taking advantage of the Nigerian people. We see also the issues going on in Iran. While that is unfortunate, we think it presents new opportunities for us as the world looks to diversify sources of energy and investing in new markets, as well as ensuring that Nigeria is able to get the optimal outcome.
Wow. Now, Diaspora connect you to your roots. So let's check out these fun facts on our Did You Know segment. Some incredible facts there. Now to our spotlight. Today on the program, we are focusing on mentorship and growth, developing the next generation of sales leaders. My guest is Ezekiel Bamigboye. Ezekiel Bamigboye is a seasoned sales leader and global partnerships expert with extensive experience across telecommunications, enterprise sales, and education technology. He studied business administration and management at Federal Polytechnic, Bida, and holds a postgraduate certificate from the University of Wales in the UK, with executive training from Lagos Business School, Humber College, Canada, Manchester Business School, and IMD, Switzerland. He is a certified sales leader, CSL, and an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered. Mr. Bamigboye currently serves as Director, Global Sales and Channel Partnerships at Digital Ed Canada, where he supports universities in driving student success through technology. He previously spent 18 years at MTN, holding senior roles in enterprise and SME sales, and also served briefly at Globacom. An author of Selling for Beginners and Brand Arrogance, Mr. Bamigboye is passionate about mentoring professionals and bridging the sales skills gap in Nigeria. Ezekiel Bamigboye, good to have you on Diaspora Connect.
Thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
Yeah, you have such an extensive CV there, and I see that you've gotten education from just about everywhere in the world. What is going on? What are you up to at the moment? Are you still acquiring any more degrees? What's going on?
When you stop learning, you start dying. You have to keep learning. Not at the moment. At the moment, I'm focused on supporting my role and giving back especially back to Nigeria.
Okay, that's incredible. But let's talk about, how it's been for you from Bida, then across the world. Have you always wanted to do this? So at first, your study of business administration, was that really what you wanted to do? Or was that what was available and then you converting it to your strength?
Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I really wanted to study engineering. Applied to the University of Ilorin at the time. Well, I didn't get it. My JAMB score wasn't really very good. That was what available. I didn't want to stay an additional year at home, so I decided to start with the Federal Polytechnic Bida, hoping that the following year I would then go back to University of Ilorin. But then I fell in love with the school and the course at the time. So it was happenstance, and I just converted it into my strength, my passion. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So as the journey continues, you begin to unveil some of the areas that you don't know. So it wasn't my plan. I think it was just God's plan.
Wow. And looking back, what would you say? Do you think you would have felt fulfilled if you had actually gone ahead to study some engineering course?
Humanly speaking, I'm not sure. Because what studying business administration and management did for me was to lay that foundation that I currently leverage as we speak. That would have taken me, studying engineering, would have taken me through another path, life. Maybe I would have been successful as well, I don't know. But this is what I know. This is the life that I know. And I'm grateful to God for guiding me through that path.
And you know what? I like that life for you because you have been able to really make a name for yourself, and it's incredible. So talk to us about your journey from Nigeria out there. At what point did you decide that, hey, Ezekiel, it's time to move? Was it inside of greener pastures, or what exactly inspired your relocation journey?
Well, that's a good question. I never planned it. I think it was 2015. I mentioned to my wife that I think we need to find the alternatives. And she was like, you love Nigeria too much. I'm not sure you want to leave this country. I said, I'm serious. Let's just start preparing. I don't intend to leave, but let's have more like plan B, right? And she started all the applications and all of that. I didn't know what the process looked like. A year after, she told me, we needed to do this, we needed to do that. I was doing those things, but I didn't know what they meant until she told me we were supposed to send our passport somewhere. Even at that time, I still didn't know anything. Then, boom, we got it. And I didn't make up my mind to leave. we came into Canada in 2018. I said I just wanted to see what the land looks like. We got in, I said, okay, it looks like a good land. 3 weeks, I was back in Nigeria, and I didn't return until 2019, then finally 2021. It's a very tough decision to make, especially when you're having it good in your career in Nigeria. I was working with MTN and life was good, things were good. It's probably the most difficult decision to make. And I'm sure for those that have relocated as well, it's not an easy decision. You probably have to rely on God, rely on everything that is humanly possible to make sense of that journey. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you're
I think
right.
it's wonderful that, you had a very supportive spouse who we can even say spearheaded, the whole arrangement. So kudos to her for making that move and for helping you keep your family together. So how was it settling in there? Because, hey, you had your life going for you in Nigeria. You had your friends, you had you just had a wonderful company around you. But going to another land where the colors were not exactly like your own skin. Talk to us about any challenges, if there was any.
The always challenges. First is culture shock. You get to what you read, what you see is different from what you experience. Even when people tell you these challenges, it's different from when you get in. So Yoruba saying that you bafu juba. That's the experience beats the news. If you experience it, you know it's quite different. So yes, came in and it was during just immediately after COVID. So things were quite different indoors for a bit. First is you discover that the job isn't that available. We think joblessness, yeah, when you see the data and the figures, joblessness in Nigeria is high. But then you come in here and you have to put in like 300 applications to probably get one slot at an interview, which is really, really strange. But first, I got in here and I told my wife I was going to take 2 months leave. I don't want to look for any job. I just want to rest. This is the first time in almost 20 years that I'm going to just stay off work and chill. Then I started looking at the bank account as you were paying rent and all of that. I said, oh, it's time to start looking for a job. But before then, I took the time to write my books and to come back to Nigeria and launch those books. Then I started applying. It took me about 6 months to get my first job. But before then, I also went for a bridging program just to understand the lay of the land, understand the culture, understand the people, understand leadership here. I wasn't going to take or start from anywhere. My own version of experience. I prayed and I believed that God was setting me on a different path. And that was what happened to me. I got a fantastic job. I've been there for the past 4 years. But yes, you get challenges, friends. Oh no, that's probably the first thing that you miss, friends, and you couldn't get friends. And the time zone difference wouldn't help you to connect back to Nigeria because your friends are awake 6 hours or 5 hours ahead of you, then they go to bed, same period ahead of you, and you're just left there. You make friends, and you have to go out, it's tough. It's challenging, I must say. Kudos to anybody that relocates, but then it was challenging.
How would you say that your learning and your development in Nigeria has helped you settle in there and thrive in your chosen career?
That's the deal. I think we underestimate what we get back in Nigeria. If you ever lived life in Nigeria, you're set up to succeed anywhere in the world. I hear Nigerians say it's not a fluke, it's not an overstatement, it is the reason we thrive. There's God factor, that's the factor, but the things you get back in Nigeria, the education you get, the exposure you get, I got a fantastic exposure in 18 years in MTN. I didn't know what those things meant. Then I got here, my first job, well, the only job I've done since then. I went on a 5-round interview streak, right? The same company, five. I've never done that. met with VP HR, met with COO, met with CEO, VP Global Revenue. They did a presentation to all of them, 5 different rounds. There was something they kept seeing in me that I didn't know, but they kept seeing it. The day I got the job, the VP HR said to me, the first day I spoke with you, I knew you were the candidate, but we needed to see you through.
So here you are, you have, braved the odds, and, you're doing something good for yourself. If you were to advise your younger self, I mean, maybe there's some young person out there who seems to be stuck, or just like you, they desired a certain course, but it like when they say, jammed them, and they can move forward. What would be your counsel to them about moving forward and still continuing to show up and, excelling regardless of the circumstance?
What I would say is get a mentor. Get a mentor. You need the shoulders of giants to rise. Get people that gone through the path. You don't have to make the mistakes that some other guys have made. I was blessed with mentors all through my career. I still get in touch with them. We still communicate maybe monthly, quarterly. If I get promoted, I reach back to them. I get positive comments that, remember 10 years ago, I told you this is the kind of person that you are. Even if you're not going to be that in MTN, you're going to be it somewhere else. Get a mentor. There's no other thing I would say to a younger me or a younger career person, whether in business or even in career. Get a mentor. With that, I can tell you, you break barriers, you get guided. Your mentors will believe in you and give you opportunities. They will extend opportunities to you. They will leverage their network for you. They will reduce the errors that you make in life. You see, if a mentor takes away one error from your life, that might be the basis for your success. You might not know it, but it just might be the basis for your success. And one error can be existential and just finish you, and you probably also won't know it, but it will just pull you back. And decades after you look back, you're like, that was the error that made me, who I am today. I would have been better.
All right. So in what ways are you as an individual trying to give back? And how do you think that Nigerians in the diaspora can actually contribute to this network of mentors, and mentorship to help those who seem uncertain, about their careers and their future back home?
Yeah, thanks. I'll approach that in 2 ways. First, I think the NIDCOM, the chairperson now, Honorable Abike Dabiri, is doing a fantastic job. I met her when she came to my city, I think 2 months ago here in Canada. And I've seen her, several times in different countries. She's doing a fantastic job trying to galvanize Nigerians in diaspora to be relevant or more relevant. Now, to those that are currently doing that, kudos to them. But there's still a particular set that, because of what is happening or because they don't like what is happening, they rather stay away. I think we need all of that. We need people to believe in, giving back, not only financially, but giving back skills, giving back, sharing best practices. Nigerians love to learn. Sometimes you get the pushback that some people really don't want to change. I've seen that. I come to Nigeria every year to network, to meet with people, to share ideas. I'll continue to do that. I think people should continue to do that. Nothing stops you from seeing a gap because of your exposure down here, and you want to go back to say, hey, there's this gap that I'm seeing. It might not be one-to-one, I bring it in and you apply that, but it might be something that you retrofit into what is happening contextually back in Nigeria. I think little ways and little disciplines in every little way back in Nigeria, we can make that impact. And that's my advice to everyone that is out there.
Right.
They won't welcome you with open hands all the time. You meet the right person, then you get that impact. As long as you're meeting the wrong people, keep at it. Don't be discouraged wanting to give back. It's not going to be easy because some people are set in their ways. That's human. You just have to keep at it.
All right. And I'm glad to see that somehow you've managed to maintain your roots. You know, you still have very close communication with people back here. So if you were to tell me what you miss the most about Nigeria, the more than 2 decades that you spent in Nigeria, what would you say you miss the most?
Two things. Number one is the camaraderie, the association, the party, whether it's in church or is with people. I was saying to my team here yesterday, when you're promoted in Nigeria, you have to show up. It must be a small
You
party
have to
to
wash
say,
it.
yeah. And they didn't understand what I was saying. Yeah, I didn't use the word wash because that would have meant me trying to explain what that meant again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have been able to do that. I just said to them that you would celebrate. And they were like, for what? Because you just got promoted. It's an expectation. Nobody will force you, but you know you had to do it. I miss that. I miss the fact that people check up on you. Oh boy, how you doing? What do you? One will go out. You know, all of that. Here, people are on their lanes. Everyone is just doing their stuff. Your neighbor, maybe I see him once in 2-3 months. During winter, during summer, maybe once every day, and it's high.
Yeah.
People just want you to leave them alone. You know, so I miss that. I would say I miss Nigerian food, not so much because I cook pretty well, and I cook. I probably eat swallow every other day in this. I don't miss it. I miss the one that I go out to eat, you know, back in Nigeria.
I say
I
cooking
think
is one of your
those
hobbies.
two. Yes, no, I cook. When I cook, my wife actually sits down to just enjoy herself. Love
Nice.
cooking, and the wife that allowed me to express that love, you know, in the kitchen.
That's a beautiful story to tell. You know, it's unlike the case where you have some females who get angry because their spouses know how to cook. Hey, enjoy it. Sit, relax, and enjoy the meal as it's presented to you on a platter.
Yeah, that's chill. Yeah, agree.
Okay, so we're wrapping up the show. As a sales professional, I mean, everything sales is what you do, global partnerships and all. I'd like you to sell this program to people out there, Diaspora Connect, from Nigeria, TVC News, TVC Communications. I mean, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora with those back home, with opportunities back home, and helping them to be able to make real impact in the lives of people. So your time starts now.
Yeah, as Nigerian, the exposure that I have, that we have, that Nigerians in diaspora have, is priceless. We all got what we had, Nigeria. And even if you weren't born in Nigeria, you have the spirit of Nigeria in you. That spirit is what makes us to. When we look back today, we see a Nigerian that we all desire gets better. We're not going to leave it to anyone. We have to get it done. So for TVC News and TVC Station and all other stations doing a fantastic job bringing back and connecting back Nigerians in diaspora, I say to all Nigerians in diaspora, it's time. Whether you like the party in government or not, that's not the issue. Leadership will change. What won't change is our country. Let's get together, come back to Nigeria in different ways, whether virtually, but we need to give back. We need to mentor people. We need to share best practices. We need to support and speak well of the country. There are very many good things about Nigeria. Let's say those things. Let's push positivity. Share the positive energy.
Three strong, amen. 3 strong bosa for my sales executive for Diaspora Connect. Ezekiel Bamigboye, bosa. Thank you so much, Mr. Bamigboye. It's a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for sharing with us, and we wish you all the best as you move on from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Wow, what a conversation there. Indeed, the Niger spirit is strong and thrives anywhere and everywhere it finds itself. As we wrap up the show today, The charge is simple. Show up as a proud Nigerian and the world will adjust. Until the next time, keep exuding that glow of a true Nigerian, that unbeatable Naija spirit. I'm Abosede Adene Adremi. I'll see you again. Bye for now.